Thrifting ain't easy, unless you're watching me. Welcome back. It's Tuesday on the Thrift Store Rundown, where we bring Hollywood home on a budget. And all this week, we're talking about things that we often leave behind coming back to haunt us or bless us on the front lines of our lives. And in this case, it's probably going to be a little bit of both. Because another real-world example I want to share with you is the things we often find in our grandparents' attic. Whether they would be artifacts from World War II or fun toys from their childhood, you never know the amount of nostalgia they can hold for them and for you. However, often we find ourselves at a crossroads between sentimental nostalgia and wanting to pay the bills so that we can create future nostalgia for future generations. I do a Lipa, marry me. Anyway, if worst came to worst, those relics in the attic would end up at the pawn shop. If you sell them cheap and they were appraised for a pretty penny, you'd be beating your head on the wall for months. But if you sell them premium and they were appraised equally, you, my friend, own life. Whatever happened to those artifacts, chances are they would end up in this game, Pawn Stars Payout Game, a Toys R Us exclusive game, and now a TSR exclusive review, because nobody else, to my knowledge, has ever reviewed this on YouTube. As you can tell, it's based upon History Channel's hit TV show following Rick Harrison and company at the Gold and Silver Pawn Shop in Vegas. It's very much akin to Hardcore Pawn on True TV, with Les Golden Family and American Jewelry and Loan in Detroit. They're more confrontational. This is more educational, of course, but it's no less fun. The game, anyway, picked up from Red, White, and Blue Thrift Store for $3.99, made by Cardinal, designed for 2 to 4 players ages 8 and up in the family section. So let's see what we got today. The all-important instruction sheet, and before we do anything else, let's take a look at the object. The object of the game is to be the player who makes the most profit for the pawn shop. You will need, and this box does contain, 250 treasure cards, 4 tokens, a dimensional game board, a 3-price dice set, and a money tracking pad. Money tracking pad, 3D game board which stays in the box to make it easier for you. We have here 3 money dice with various dollar increments from tens to hundreds to thousands, and the max of $10,000. We have your tokens here. These will be your IDs for each player here, 4 tokens, 4 players. We have here what looks like a pot, some sort of lens. We also have a pair of sunglasses, and a bowler hat. And I think this might be the lens that certain pawnbrokers use to identify pieces of fake jewelry. You know, they want to get a close-up look at how the jewelry is made and the carat content and all that. Make no mistake, Hardcore Pawn is my jam, but they don't have a game like this. But is Pawn Stars Payout Game really a winner in this department? We're about to find out. First up, we look at the instructions. Everything's already been set up. All the dice have been labeled and all the cards have been organized, so all that's left for us to do is to take a look at this instruction pamphlet for 10 seconds. There you go, 10 seconds. And we'll keep this pad here. Let's have a look at some of the treasure cards in here. Again, 250 in all with 3 card slots. We'll just skim a little off the top from each slot. Ready to cash in? This $1,000 bill boasts a portrait of President Grover Cleveland. Put it in 1934. It's truly in mint condition because it was never circulated. The actual payout value is $4,500. A home run or a strike. It's a baseball signed by the 1951 New York Yankees. How I wish Yankee fans would go back to that era today. They wish that too. There are 27 autographs including Joe DiMaggio and Mickey Mantle. Payout value $8,000. 8 G's worth of consolation for their pitiful performance in the World Series. And this pinball machine, Pinball Wizard, alright. Put your fingers on the flippers and play a 1970s pinball game based on motorcycle thrill rider Evel Knievel. Are you revved up enough to buy it? Payout value $1,300. So in a long list of treasure cards here, that's kind of cheap. But I like pinball machines. I actually own one, a SpongeBob pinball machine, and you'll see that down the line. But as far as gameplay goes, I'm going to do my best to summarize this and be as accurate as I can because I'm the first one to review the Pawn Stars payout game on YouTube. Although I did take some inspiration from BoardGameGeek.com. Anyway, there will be a certain number of rounds per game depending on who's playing. 2 players will play 4 rounds. That's the same with 4 players. But 3 players will play 3 rounds and 4 will play 4. However many number of players you have for the game, gameplay will go a little something like this. You will select 4 challenge cards, 4 treasure cards, and put them value side down in each of the 4 slots here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you will select a mystery card and place it in the payout game slot right here. That's your mystery card. And this card is awarded to the player with the lowest amount of money at the end of the game. You never know, this could be the trick up their sleeve to finally nail it all. If they're like down to the 11th hour and almost out. Last place. Anyway, choose 4 treasure cards, place them each in these slots. A player will choose an opposing player and pick a card that they want to buy and try to appraise with these 3 dice here. Now, that player has to pick a token. Whoever picks the token challenges the player who owns that token. That challenged player will then roll the dice to determine the actual payout value of the treasure card that the player wants without going over. A lot of Price is Right. Whoever gets closest to that actual payout value wins, and you can use 1, 2, or all 3 of the dice to determine what you may think the actual payout value is. The key is not to go over. If you come closest, you win the card. You might have to do some math to figure out how much you really earned. Treasure valued and price paid, subtracted from the treasure valued, and that will be your pawn shop profits. Pay attention to the star here, because at any point if you roll a star, you can deem any item in the treasure card slots fake. No matter if it's really fake or not, if it's deemed fake by any player who rolls this star here, that card is discarded, and that value is subtracted from your total pawn shop profits. That will continue for however many rounds of gameplay there will be until all rounds have been played and everybody tallies up their pawn shop profits. And again, whoever has the lowest amount of pawn shop profits gets the mystery card in this very slot here. Whoever has the highest amount of profits wins. And that is the Pawn Stars payout game. It's as simple as I can make it, and really, fairly simple to a point that an 8-year-old could do it. If an 8-year-old likes appraisal-based reality shows, they were certainly all the rage in 2010. From storage-based shows, auction-based shows, like Auction Wars, Storage Hunters, Storage Wars, from AAD, which I also have a game for, to pawnbroking shows like this one on the History Channel, or my jam, Hardcore Pawn on True TV. Anyway, now the History Channel show is an exciting game. Compete to see which player can estimate if the item is a trash or a treasure. Which player will be the biggest pawn star of the day? We already went over what's inside and how many people can play and the age limit, so all I can give this is 4.5 out of 5 claps. There are a combination of real items and fictional items in here, just in the name of fun. I would like if they were a little more heavy on the actual brands for some items in here. But there you go. Until Let's Go and Company comes up with a game they can call their own, Pawn Stars really is a treasure on this department. So what are you waiting for? Pay up and pay out. That's Pawn Stars' payout game. And here's what's coming up for Wednesday. Problem 1, Doom is stuck in the mid-70s time warp. Problem 2, it's hard to feel sexy in your in-law's bed. You think! Thanks for tuning in. Just so you know, there's no limit to bringing Hollywood home on a budget. Please go ahead and check out another awesome review like this one by clicking here, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here. Until next time, I'll catch you, as I always do, on the flip side.